Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Alright guys, welcome to War Room. I believe this is episode number 16, and I'm glad to be here. I know we missed last week, but we've got Nanner and Skirmish to thank for that one. So, glad to be back. We got some good stuff to talk about. Going to talk about the Lord's SWK match a little bit once Siri gets here. Despite his webcam being on, he is still shoutcasting, so we're kind of waiting on him. But yeah, so we'll be talking about that. We're going to mention the patch notes and then talk about Clan Tech. So, without further ado, let's get some introductions going here, starting with Dominator.
I'm a Dominator with second in command of the Skyjaggers, first in Sky Rangers.
And thank you very much for being on. This is your first time on the show, and we're glad to have you. Next up, we have Eagle Falcon Hawk.
Hey guys, Eagle Falcon Hawk, Blackstone Knights most average pilot.
Always good to introduce yourself with a little bit of modesty. And then DeChad. I hope you guys like the image I picked for your unit.
Yeah, I looked out the brass balls and that. Yeah, it's pretty good. So I'm DeChad from Balls of Steel, formerly of Sky Rangers, but no, here I am, I guess.
And it is good to have you too. We got a bunch of first-time guests, which is always fun. G-Man, who's joining us without a webcam this time, just gets the little light.
Yes, unfortunately, I am the faceless name from credit this time.
Faceless Army, what can we say? And then in the bottom right, we have the ever infamous.
I'm Nanner Hammock. Play for SIG, and I drive a light. I don't actually pilot one.
That's the difference, is telling whether or not it's done well or not. Okay, so tonight, once Siri gets back, when he's done, we're going to talk a little bit, as I said, about the Lord's SWK match, because it was really fun to watch. Obviously, a little bit of trouble/drama at the end there, but interesting nonetheless, really fun game to watch. Do a quick update on the leagues and things like that. But right now, let's talk about the patch notes. What did you guys think?
I think
Everybody
pulse
be quiet.
lasers might be good.
Okay, so
Ish.
that's a good question. Who's actually tried them?
I mean, I've used some on my Spider, but I don't think pulse lasers are good. I think they're a hair off good. Especially large pulse lasers are a hair off good.
Yeah, medium pulse lasers still a bit shit, but
Yeah, not nerfing the heat value, I guess is how you'd say that, or buffing the heat value. I don't know. Not
Yeah.
reducing the heat value means that medium
There you go.
lasers still aren't very viable, in my opinion, at least.
I would argue it depends. I mean, there's some builds out there that medium pulse lasers are what makes sense. Your Spider, for example. And the range buff is really more of a slight damage buff because most of your fighting is within 250 meters anyways, right?
Yeah, and then you get 1 or 2 more damage out of it at that medium range, which can make all the difference when you're trying to pull a leg off of something small.
Yeah, the only thing, pulse lasers have over regular lasers is less burn time, and so each one of those pulses puts out a little bit more damage than the same amount of a regular laser. But other than that, because of the range, you really do miss out. I found myself hitting somebody that's got a medium pulse laser, and I could just back up. I've got regular medium lasers. I can just back up, and now he's doing a lot less damage, and I'm still doing, either all my damage or more damage than he is.
Yeah, and so have any of you actually found builds that you find the pulse laser to be effective on? Because I mean, the large laser is obviously the one that is the most more viable now, but it's still 7 tons, which is the same as a PPC. So unless you're going really, really heavy dedication to brawling, I mean, I haven't been able to find a super good build for it. Have you?
I'd say really brawling's the only spot. I mean, we've used them in a couple spots recently in some of our Shadowhawk builds with the AC-20 that we know we're going to be going up in the lower tonnages and getting up close in their faces, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I recently tried it on my Treb 7M, and it was working pretty well with the streaks and 3 medium pulse. It was quick. I could get in, get out, and focus fire when I'm dropping in from a jump.
And so, I mean, have you guys been trying to run? I know a couple of you drop command, and I know a couple of you play different size mechs. But have you guys been trying to run within your teams more dedicated brawling comps to try and test it out, or has it just been kind of a 4-man practice thing?
We've been running some brawling stuff, but really what's been the problem is and every time, and I'm going to say it, SRMs, they bring them back, brawling comes back, but you just don't have the punch that you really need. You'd probably see more medium lasers and more large lasers out there. I do see a lot of large lasers in hugs, mostly because people just saw a change in their heat. That 0.5 heat makes a big difference, and the range makes a big difference. Like they're kind of something that you need to look for. So you see a guy with it, you're like, I don't want to get up on him, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, BSK, we haven't been trying out large pulse lasers, for example, in 12-mans or anything like that. Just some random 4-man practice. But I mean, just from what I've done, I certainly don't think large pulse lasers are still where they need to be. Right? I'd say a good litmus test is the really popular brawling build, your AC-20 and PPC Shadowhawk that you see quite a bit. That should be perfect for a large pulse laser and AC-20 as well, right? If large pulse laser really is a brawling build, that's where it should fit in, and you still aren't seeing teams run it, so it's still not where it needs to be, I would say.
No.
I'd say that's a huge problem with a large pulse laser, is that if you can bring 2 medium lasers instead, that's what you're going to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's been a lot more reliable in our games in the past. I mean, we've tried to push in some large pulse lasers here and there in those Shadowhawk builds, and the medium lasers still outdamage it for some reason.
Well, it's mostly because the burn time on the large pulse lasers is actually more than is about the same as the as the medium lasers, you know, and they run a lot less heat, and that makes a lot of difference. Being able to just get more and more and more shots off. The PPCs are a direct fire weapon, you know. I think you're not going to see a push away from the PPCs anytime soon, unfortunately.
And so,
Yeah,
go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I don't think large pulse lasers are going to do anything until either A, they reduce the heat again like they had it, or B, increase the crit range based on pulses. I think that would be a viable solution. So instead of only having 1 chance at a crit, maybe have 3 chances, 1 for each pulse, or something like that.
Actually, the balancing method I've been wanting for pulse lasers for a while is to make it an anti-armor weapon, because that's actually what it was talked about in canon.
Right, yeah, it was meant to just melt away those outer armor layers, and then you'd use something with more crit to get into the inner components.
So I was actually wondering, it brings up a good point. Do any of you, I can talk sometimes, I swear, it's just not when I'm hosting my shows. What do you guys think would be, other than that changes that would help make pulse lasers better? I have one that I'm keeping up my sleeve because I think it's a terrific idea and I want to see it happen, but I want to hear what you guys have to say first. Do you guys think that they're, like, if you had to balance pulse lasers right now, what would you do?
They need to bring, if they're going to keep the range at kind of where it is, they need to bring the heat down a little bit more, because it's the heat currently. I mean, they're not going to replace PPCs. Why should they even be anywhere near close to what PPCs are? What are they? They're at 8 now, but they were at 8.5. You know, it's just, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense for the full pulse to be that way. I don't have anything other than that.
Sorry, Siri finally joined the channel, which means I can
He did.
take off his image cover, which is that
But he's talking
one.
to somebody else.
No, I'm just sitting here and hoping you guys come up with good ideas.
There we go.
Do you
Not
not have any
likely.
good ideas for this one?
Welcome, Siri.
I do, but I want to have yours.
Well,
As well.
Oh, you want mine?
I'll drop my idea, which I
Your
love.
ideas, not your babies.
Which isn't actually my idea. This idea goes out to Grim, who this is my favorite idea for pulse lasers. Make them continuous fire, like machine guns.
I would love continuous fire. It would make me so happy.
So the heat just ramps up. So you can fire as long as you want until you overheat, but you fire a continuous laser, or just like continuous pulses. It would be the most fearsome brawling weapon ever. Like you see a 3 large pulse laser awesome running at you. Suddenly that's a priority target. You're like, oh shit, that thing does like constant 10 damage. Holy shit, shoot it. Like,
The problem with,
go ahead, Siri.
not to shoot your idea down too hard, but the problem with that is that if you're using it against somebody who needs the torso twist, who knows how to torso twist, then you need to make the damage good enough that you're still a threat, even when he's torso twisting. The flip side being that suddenly if there's somebody who doesn't torso twist and you've buffed it to the point it's useful against said torso twisters, then it's just going to core through them in about 3 seconds.
Hell yeah.
So it's very hard to strike a balance with that.
I don't think it would need to be balanced beyond to compensate for people who torso twist though, because like other weapons that shoot singular shots aren't. You have to wait for them to torso twist. If you're just gonna stare at them and shoot, you're not gonna get the components. So I get what you're saying, but
the best comparison is the AC2.
I was thinking Ultra AC5s, why those aren't as good of a brawling weapon as the AC20.
because they have the possibility to not work, and having a gun that doesn't shoot in a brawl is terrible.
Well, that's part of it, but also the whole you have to keep looking at them in order to keep doing damage.
True.
Yeah, you probably run into the same problem with a continuous fire. But I want another weapon thing in there, and continuous fire just seems like. I mean,
I think
they
it'd be fun to try. I think isn't that actually technically the X pulse laser, which doesn't come out for a few more years or something like that.
Something like that.
But it's still interesting. It's still like a cool idea, and I don't know. I'd like to try it on the test server for like a day or something like that.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I have a couple suggestions. I would say instead of making it a continuous pulse, actually reducing the fire time by about half, and then reducing the heat a little bit, because that would do two things. One, it would make it more viable as far as heat production goes, and two, it would decrease the spread of damage, thus making it more of a pinpoint weapon.
Sorry, by fire time do you mean its beam duration, or?
Yeah, beam duration.
So just on the large laser or large pulse laser, or all the pulse lasers?
All of them.
So
So
Well,
you'd be
that-
buffing them about to 0.3 second duration on the large and the medium.
You'd probably have to counter that with a longer cooldown too in between then.
yeah,
Yeah,
because
'cause that'd be-
otherwise,
That would be really potent.
yeah, they just kill lasers in general. Like
Mhm.
you would, I'd have to move in closer with medium lasers, but or with a medium pulse laser. But now I'm just killing it.
I mean that would make it worth the extra tonnage and the extra heat, I think.
Yeah, but like I said, it ends up killing regular lasers, because now you have a stronger alpha now pinpoint that a Jenner can put on itself and not overheat. And I mean, it would be it would be real heavy.
Yeah, I hope that this means that this is then 2 patches in a row where we've seen fairly like moderate, not like huge swings either way, balance changes to weapons. So I think hopefully we'll see more of that. Saw some good improvements to UI 2.0, which I'm really happy about. The warning button, which we'll get to in a second. I'm sure Siri has some words about it. But quick, let's talk about fire starters. Who's bought them? I'm
Hold
sure.
up.
Oh wait, Siri has something that he wants to say. Never mind.
I had something about large
Yeah.
pulse.
Oh,
He hadn't
God,
said any about it.
I thought you like worked that into your Siri. Damn it! No, go ahead. It's fine.
No, it's Siri Waffle, not Siri. Damn it.
Oh, that's right. Hold on. Let me change it on the overlay quick.
No, what I was gonna say was I don't think they are that far off where they need to be. It's just currently right now they're overshadowed by the, well, flavor of the month, flavor of the fucking year, actually, of jump sniping with PPCs and ballistics. If that was nerfed and not the dominant playstyle, which Paul has indicated that he wants to do, nerfing the Highlander and jump jets and all of that, if that is enough to bring more of a parity between brawling and sniping, then I think large pulse are in a pretty decent spot. What they would need from here, I think, is possibly a little bit more heat and a reduction to 6 tons.
They do need that reduction.
Yeah,
Yeah,
7
but no,
tons
they-
is so rough. Like it.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I take a PPC?
If you're gonna ton down, you might as well take large lasers or ER large lasers. If you're gonna ton up, well, you didn't even have to ton up on a PPC. So yeah, it just doesn't. It fits a spot that you could take a PPC in.
Yeah. Okay, Siri, was that your point, or do you want to keep talking about pulse lasers, or can I move on to fire starters?
That was my point, unless
Okay.
somebody has a rebuttal or discussion.
No, I think it's a good change. Honestly, something needs to give you a reason to take them, because right now it's just pugs going. I think I'm going to take it. I think this is a good idea. I think, or the I'm going to say meta. The anti-meta guys that I run into that are like, "Wah, I hate you for taking something that works," and so they take pulse lasers.
Okay, well, from there, let's move on and talk about the fire starter. Who bought one, first of all? I know we got a lot of light
I
pilots
got
in
them
here.
all.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got most.
Except
Who
for
didn't?
me. I did.
Yeah, I know everybody that's a light pilot in balls did pretty much everybody.
Yeah, I got every single one of them.
Don't get me
Everybody
wrong,
that isn't.
I'm going to buy them. I just don't have the mech base right now. I'll sell my locusts, but that would require me mastering my locusts, which is going to take me about 6 months.
You haven't mastered your locusts?
Do you
So-
enjoy
so
do you
happens.
enjoy pounding nails into your knees? Because that's
Do
what
you
it's
not?
like.
You
I'm
don't
an
know-
assault pilot. Do you know
you
what it's
don't-
like piloting a locust
How
for
is
me?
it that you haven't done this yet? It's the easiest thing in the world.
Dude.
I did it in the first week.
Okay,
Uh,
so Raffle, I saw you in a commando the other day.
That's true.
That's-
And in a locust.
On rare occasion, I will run a commando. I only own commandos because back when ECM was incredibly overpowered and everybody was complaining about ravens, I bought a commando just to be like, look at me, I can take down ravens. And I did. But then I didn't play commandos. I actually just mastered commandos like a couple months ago when the Death Knell went on sale. So that's the only light mech I own other than locusts, and I hate touching locusts. It makes me so sad.
It's super easy. I don't know what your problem is.
Anyway, Firestarter, guys. Let's talk about it. Everybody sort of touted it as a Jenner killer going into the patch. I have not seen it act as such. I think part of that is the movement archetype, which we can talk about. But what have your impressions been so far?
It doesn't do anything to replace the Jenner D, but the Ember definitely can replace the Jenner F. That's my impression.
I don't know
Really?
about the Jenner F.
I was, yeah, that's actually startling to hear. I thought the Jenner F was going to be king forever. No, explain. Keep going.
Well, I mean, the Jenner D is really the only light mech you can use to kill other light mechs. Well, not the only, but it's the best at it. And the Jenner F was best at killing big mechs. But now the Firestarter, those machine guns just tear people up. It's insane.
You're talking about the Ember?
Yeah. Although the H is also pretty good at it, just not as good.
I don't know about all that. Basically, I mean, you've got a mech that does something different than a Jenner F or a Jenner D. You've got a crit-seeking mech. You're not going to tear up a heavy mech by yourself, whereas the Jenner F really can. I know Siri's seen it, and I've done it. You can tear up an Atlas and a Jenner F really, really easily if they're a bad player. In a Jenner or in an Ember, it's a lot harder. Those machine guns really don't do anything against anything that has armor on it. It's only after it's stripped.
Also,
Well, yeah.
because
You're looking
the torso is so tight on the Firestarters in general, if you're constantly moving like you have to do in a light in any sort of brawl situation in a competitive game, it's kind of hard to keep those machine guns on any specific point for a particularly long duration of time, right?
I agree with that.
We haven't really run into those problems. And, like, the thing is that you're not going to be alone. If you're playing competitively, you're going to have at least 3 other Firestarters with you, which is a total of 16 medium lasers. It's not like it's hard to get through armor with that.
Yeah,
not
but could it be less
16
hard
medium
than,
lasers.
say,
That's confusing because you
Jenners?
can run 8 medium lasers, and I don't know why you wouldn't. Come on, guys. No, I'm kidding. That'd be terrible. Sorry, keep going.
Get out of here, you fat-ass assault pilot.
Stop it! Stop it! Push him out of the room.
If it doesn't have 8 hard points, I don't know what to do with it. No, I'm just kidding.
Something I do like that the Firestarters also bring is, before you had Jenner F, which was the champion for killing heavies, but it was trumped by the Jenner D in any one-on-one battle. Well, now you have it's the Firestarter S that carries 2 AMS. You can put 5 or 6 medium lasers on there pretty easily, and all of a sudden now you're trumping the D. So it's kind of a nice little rock paper scissors battle between the 3 of them.
It doesn't really trump the D. It does, however, eliminate some of the missiles depending on the range at which you're at. The Jenner D has a much tighter cornering and can maneuver a little better. Given the right circumstances, the Jenner D is going to be able to take him still, because the AMS isn't going to engage until after 100, right? Is that right, Siri? I think it's 100. And so it's not really rock paper scissors, more or less just something that does something different than the rest. If you have say Streak NATO, as you know, and you're running a bunch of these, it's 2 AMS that you can use instead of somebody else using AMS. Say you're wanting to run Jenner Ds, they're running 2 AMS. One of your Jenner Ds now can run BAP, so it's kind of one of those things.
If I could say, I primarily run mediums right now, and I would say that the Firestarter is a lot easier to hit than either a Jenner or a Locust. Because they're taller.
But you only have to hit a Locust once. That's the thing.
Well, yeah, but the Jenners, having that shorter stance, it really makes a difference on hitability, in my opinion.
And so, how have you guys found the Jenners and Firestarters in movement? Because I've heard a lot of guys complaining that the Firestarter is it's very noticeable how much less mobile it is than the Jenner. Have you guys noticed that?
The torso pitch is absolute shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It doesn't really need it because of the arms, but yeah, you can definitely tell.
Unless
the
you're
torso
an Ember.
pitch. The torso pitch is the big reason why I don't like it. Combine that with the machine guns being in the torso. Just the whole nature of machine guns is you have to have it on the enemy the entire time in order to be getting full use out of it. So while on paper the DPS is the same as a medium or small laser, practically speaking, you are not getting maybe 20% of that, especially against lights. When you're fighting a big mech and you're just going after its legs and you can get into a circle fight brawl with it, then yeah, you can keep those machine guns on target, but in a light fight, the machine guns, the pitch, all of it adds up to being the fire starter is worse in a light fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. It's definitely not a good anti-light mech.
But you know what it does do?
Kills
in
everything
a,
else.
Yeah.
In a comp, it does replace the spider or whatever else you want to throw in there that you can't take because of restrictions. We've been running it in some of our Merrick drops, and it works perfectly for some like the, which one is it, the S, or whichever one doesn't have the machine gun. It actually does all right. And I put up some pretty good numbers in pugs. I know it's pugs, but I always take it for like half, and that's what you're going to do in a comp match. And I put up like 600 or 700 before.
I do kind of wonder that people's opinion that it's just not nearly as maneuverable as the other lights might change a little bit when people have had more time playing it once they've got the double basics on it, right? Because I don't know if anyone's been playing it long enough that more than half of their matches are with it elite or double basic.
I cheated. Mine's double basic.
GXP?
That's what GXP
Yeah.
is for.
Yeah, I cheated. And it's a way better. If you ever play it without it, it's like a stick in the eye, and you play it with the double basics, it's awesome.
Another complaint
but-
I have against it is that its weapons are much lower mounted than a Jenner's, and while that doesn't seem like a big deal when you're doing pop-tarting or just jumps over hills and then falling back behind cover, it means that you're exposed for a lot longer.
Yeah.
I agree. It seems I've seen a lot of fire starters in Merrick just because you need a fourth light mech and you can't take 4 Jenners, so you throw in a fire starter, and it does seem to be very effective. I don't think we'll see spiders again unless you really expect to be running up against a bunch of streaks or LRMs or something like that. So
Or if it's a tonnage issue.
Yeah.
Yep.
Commandos? That's what I heard, Raffle.
I
No,
heard
Locust.
commandos. I heard commandos and Jaeger mechs, but let's sit on the other side of the hill and wait for the match to be over. Nanner. Bastard.
Yeah, we tie.
I think we will still see spiders in the upcoming MRBC League.
Oh,
because one
yeah.
of the drops requires 6 CCM, right? And nothing over a medium, so you're kind of... Well, you can go commandos, but
Somebody
why would you?
Somebody post that
Cicada
link in chat.
3Ms.
Somebody post that link in chat. Post MRBC. Everybody go check out MRBC. It's super awesome. Oh
Are signups
shit!
still available?
I don't think so. I think the match is actually starting. But Siri and I both have fun little articles that you can read, and we have some random bet that we're going to have to decide about before the end of the show on who gets the most views before next week. But yeah, MRBC is cool. There's going to be a lot of matches and a lot of casted matches, so it should be a lot of fun. There we go. Thank you, G-Man. But yeah, MRBC League.
One thing I don't think anybody exactly touched on, and I think just slightly, the model with the 2 AMS, they're going to be a lot more effective against medium streak mechs, and as a counter to them, and that would be the main thing I would say would be useful for that particular mech.
Yeah, well, the other thing is if we ever get private lobbies, you'll be able to see the resurgence of Lerms on certain on certain maps, and the double AMS might not be too bad.
It's a great substitute for having to bring in like a K or an Atlas K or a Stalker or something like that. You can have that kind of mobile AMS coverage in a smaller mech that can get to one side or the other of the map and just have that AMS bubble to help out the rest of the team instead of having to bring a 100-ton or 90-ton mech instead.
Yeah, because nobody's bringing a Locust.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's what I thought
exactly.
you were gonna do. Damn.
I mentioned the Locust once and it gets brought up for the rest of the show. God damn it, what have I done?
Well, you haven't sold it, so obviously you're doing it wrong.
I just
Honestly,
sold
okay,
mine, too.
honestly, I took it out the first day, and I ran into that one asshole who brought out his streak cat just for fun, because there's
Why?
gonna be so many locusts. Wait. And then I died, and I was like, well, okay, running something else. Battlemaster, let's do it.
The day that all came out, there was tons of streaks. Oh, I remember all the streaks, and
Yeah.
just locust dead everywhere.
Locust
The locust
corpses.
body count was high that day.
I think that was the a week I used to master my Kintaros.
Yeah, there you go.
See, I just took the natural
Who knows,
evolution
Greg?
that day and brought up the Generef and just took all the boxes off the catapults and liked all the Kintaros, and it was good fun.
I hate you. Alright, they released Griffins with a new patch, which was cool. They did that in the hotfix, which is fun. Good to know that they're sticking to dates, which is nice. Some cockpit items, the warnings, which I really like. The warnings are super cool. Although it does tell me that my twin PPC Cicada, it's like, warning, you don't have any armor on your arms. And I'm like, yep, I know. Don't worry.
I like the one on my Kintaro. It's like, if you fire more than 4 streaks at a time, you will have excess heat. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for
Wait, there-
finally admitting that.
Wait, there's actually ghost heat on streaks?
Yeah,
That's what it
Yeah.
is.
correct me if I'm wrong, but the only weapon that doesn't have ghost heat is the small laser.
Small.
Nope,
Yeah.
medium
And
pulse.
machine guns.
Ah,
Medium pulse lasers don't have ghost heat. Trebellius runs around with his 9 medium pulse. Hunchback.
God.
Do flamers?
Yes.
That's
Flamer's
stupid.
has some
Flamers
ghost
don't
heat
work
somewhere.
anyways.
They don't work
No, they're the
correctly.
best.
Like
Oh
Hesser's.
God. 9 medium pulse laser. Jesus, that's awesome.
We can go back to the cockpit items because those are some of those are horrendous and some of those are awesome.
They didn't
By the
pick
way.
mine, so I'm mad. God damn it. PGI not
the
picking my
plasma
cockpit
ball-
item. Plasma ball's pretty
Plasma
cool.
ball was a great idea, and then I saw it and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
The
I was kind
only-
of hoping the hug and a helmet would have like a like a cosmonaut symbol or something like that. and not
This
just-
isn't competitive. What the fuck are we talking about?
No, this is critical.
God damn it, guys. I mean, I know.
rotating fan is
I-
awesome.
I know
love that
Nanner
thing.
runs actual lights in his cockpit because he hates being
do.
able to see things. Because, I mean, fuck River City Night, right, guys?
Those lights
God damn it.
are needed. It's so
No,
good.
we're not
They
talking
are
about
needed.
this.
You have
No.
no idea.
Raffle, you have to be comfortable to play your best. That's a fact.
Oh, god damn
That's
it.
the
I
reason why
am.
in my spider I
That's why-
have a thing of a spider in it. And it is actually painted like they're both painted the same. I'm comfortable that way.
Yeah, and he can ask himself, hey, which arm are the lasers mounted in? He just looks at his statue.
I just look
and
at
knows.
the statue. Yeah.
The one true thing about that statement is that Nanner needs to look at an actual 3D image of a mech to tell which side his guns are on.
He holds his hand up in an L to his screen and then just sees which side it's shooting from.
Mom!
I actually put my hand up to my heart and go and start, saying the Pledge of Allegiance, so I know which side is right and left.
I pledge allegiance to the SIG and all our dysfunctional assholes.
You could give us some of your dysfunctional
N-
people.
no, it's just me. Everybody else is pretty good. Okay,
All right.
doesn't
Off
look.
track, sorry.
No, it's fine. That's what we do. Doesn't look like Chet has any questions about the patch. So, somebody wants to know about next assault speculation. What do you guys think the next mech is going to be? G-Man, I know you wrote an incredibly lengthy post on the Reddit All Hell Serious table about what you think the next mech could be. So
Yeah.
I'll let you start it off. What do you think the next mech is going to be?
Alright, honestly, I kind of don't remember, but I think I can give you it was going to be the Zeus. The only alternative I remember was that they would bring out I forget who pointed this out, but thanks to whoever did, that they would bring out the Daboku in order to give the Mauler a third variant. That's the only other alternative, really.
Just to confirm, though, you wrote 5,000 words on the subject and don't remember the last sentence?
It was
Zeus and the Thor,
4,009
same thing.
4,999. You're wrong.
Ah, gotcha.
It's going to be the Annihilator. Don't worry. Don't worry about it. It's gonna be the Annihilator. That's all I want.
I've
But, I mean,
always
the
wanted
builds
a
are-
mech that goes 30 kph.
Dude, and gets headshot wherever you go because you've just got that giant fucking head on top of a huge body and your guns are so low slung.
I mean, I think the rumors are that it is the Muller, though, isn't?
Mhm.
I don't know if that's just
So-
it's been something that's been passed around. But
What I had
that's what I've
heard
been hearing
was
anyways.
I heard a bunch of people be like, "Oh yeah, NG said it was the Mauler," but I heard when I listened to that, it sounded like that was in reference to the mech game that they're making, their little sort of side project. I don't know if that's correct or not. I could be completely wrong.
Wait, are you asking us if we
No.
listen to NGNG?
I don't.
I'm not saying anything one way or the other. I'm just saying that's what I heard. Happy community here,
listened to-
guys.
I listened to Brian Ekman interview part 1 this morning.
Not to mention, Siri, do you not listen to your clanmate? Siri?
I listen to him like
Oh.
10 hours a week in practice, and like all
Yeah.
the time I spend with him during casts.
Jaeger, I know
Yeah,
you're streaming
so-
right now, but I hope you ban Siri.
Siri is part of SJR. They
No, I
don't
know.
like each other.
I I don't need to go on the cast to know what he thinks because we are in agreement on quite a few things.
Yeah, I know.
Because he's psychic.
And speaking of cast and stuff like that, and since nobody has any questions further, SWK versus Lords. That was a match. It was fun. I mean, how many of you guys watched it? I was gonna.
I know at least 2 of us were in matches, so we didn't
Yeah.
get to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if Siri got to watch it. Did you?
Yeah, Siri, did you happen to watch that match? I don't remember.
Did you happen to catch that one?
Was it an okay match? No. So Arhad match tonight. For those who don't know, this is Lord's first run up against one of the top tier teams against SWK, and final score was 3-1 Lords over SWK. A little bit of drama at the end there with a possible mulligan call, but I'll let Siri sort of talk about it.
Well, it was, like Raffle said, a 3-1 at Conquest, Lord's favor. The way Run Hot or Die works is it's a double elimination, not double elimination, a double round robin tournament. And so, obviously you face everybody in your division twice, and one team is the home team, and they pick which mode that you're going to play. And for this match, SWK was the home team, and they chose Conquest. So they had the advantage of familiarity with the game mode. All of the games were very, very close. Those were quite fun to cast. It was... Lords took the first, second, and fourth match. So they were winning 2-0, and SWK managed to take a match back.
Cool. And yeah, we don't need to talk about it in detail. I know a lot of you were playing. I just wanted to bring it up. It was a very interesting game to watch, and I'm excited to see more games like that. So, for those of you that don't know the little bit of, I don't know, drama, which is stupid. I don't want to call it drama. This isn't a very drama-filled community.
Controversy.
Sorry, what? What was that word? I know you're from Canada, but controversy? Were you going for controversy there? Contravesty.
No.
Anyway,
God help you.
the little bit of controversy at the end was whether or not it was due to error or pilot pilot mistake. One of the SWK's pilots didn't have ammo in their mech, so went into a match no ammo, called for mulligan. Lords refused to accept. Ended up playing out in Lord's favor. Lord's took the series. Nothing really to talk about, just worth mentioning. Good series.
It's...
Are you-
Technically speaking, that isn't a mulliganable offense.
Correct.
No, it's not.
Magician, who was, of course, casting the match with Siri and Jaeger, went over, officiated. The final ruling was that it's up to players to check their builds, and whether or not it was a UI error, it wasn't a mulliganable offense, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Alright,
Isn't
kill
there
it.
a flashing yellow thing to tell you don't have ammo loaded for your guns?
You mean something PGI has put in here recently?
Mother of God! You guys, you know what this means? Absolutely nothing. Let's move on to Clan Mechs.
Yeah, in interest of getting on topic.
No,
Show.
I did wanted to bring it up just because it was a fun match and I liked watching it. Congrats to Lords, it was a good game. Congrats to SWK, played well as always. Still whooped my ass most times.
Hey guys, if you
most
don't mind, I
times.
just had a quick question.
Oh yeah, go ahead, Dominator.
When you guys are doing their shoutcasts, is it technically possible to have like a screen coming off of a, like say a light mech and also one off of a heavy mech off of each team, or do you think there would be enough room on screen to do something like that?
It's possible. I've been working on that for mine. The problem is having 4 people stream, having 2 streamers on each team. Like it's hard enough finding 2 streamers on each team, which
Yeah, to be honest, if it's a light perspective and you don't have it full screen, it's just gonna be a whole lot of screen shake.
yeah, the goal
and
is
not
that
very useful.
hypothetically we should have a couple of really good streams for SJR versus BSK, which obviously Siri will not be able to cast, but I will be casting with an undetermined co-host. Hopefully we should have a couple of streamers for that, so we'll be able to see multiple perspectives. But yeah, we're working on it. It's one of the limitations right now. I'm working on trying. I want to try and figure out a way to get the spectator mode, but it's not on the public servers right now. It's just on the test and for use in checking for cheating and stuff like that. So, yeah. Unless anybody has anything else, we'll move on to Clan Tech. Anybody?
Where do we
Are you
start?
waiting for us to have something else?
I don't know. I was just waiting to see if you guys had anything to say. Okay, so Clan Mechs, yippity doo dah. Who's super excited? Me. Who's bought a gold mech? Not me. I'm pouring in college.
More excited if there was a Mad Dog. Let's just say that much.
Oh, you know there's going to be a reinforcement package
Yeah,
in like
there
a
will
month
be.
with 4 more mechs. Come on.
And that's when I'll shell out the cash. But
Exactly. Dude, that direwolf though. Okay, so this has been a long time coming. I know I've skipped out on it like 3 weeks now because shows have gone long and stuff like that. So we have a lot of information on the clans. First off,
I'm so excited for the Kit Fox, I just can't contain it.
was that sarcasm?
I think it might have been.
it might
Just
just
a
be
little bit.
it might just be
It might.
Nanner's general excitement
might
about
be.
things that are terrible.
Nanner might. He could
As
just
he
be
is
off in the
prone
head.
to.
Okay.
No.
Well, first thing I want to talk about is they released the loadouts for Clan Mechs, which, I mean, obviously these are just the Prime variants, but it gives us an idea of how closely they're sticking to the canon builds and what we can expect from the other variants and things like that. So we're going to go through each of them. We're going to just talk really briefly about what you guys think about each of the mechs and how useful they're going to be. And then we're going to move on to the talk about the XL announcement and the armor announcement. All right. Killer. So Kit Fox, Nanner, you said you were really excited. So why don't you, out of memory, tell me what the Kit Fox's loadout is, since you're so excited about
I
it?
can't remember, but I know it's freaking slow. I know it carries some stuff, but it's super slow, and I have no desire to pilot that thing whatsoever.
Kit Fox is 30 tons with an engine rating of 180 and a top speed of 97.2 kph.
So slow.
It carries an ER large laser, a small pulse laser, a Streak SRM-4, and an LBX-5. First of
Oh my gosh.
all, LBX-5. Who's not excited? And the LBX-2. I'm excited for that shit. Fuck the LBX-20.
LBX. It's gonna
That's
be
a
amazing,
gun.
guys.
That's a gun. The LBX-2 is a thing.
But does it? You think it comes out as just 2 pellets, or did the 2 pellets split into?
No.
Tiny
It's
pellets?
Like
So
like
0.1
micro
each?
pellets that do like 0.1 damage each or something. That'd
in
be-
in BattleTech, it's 2 pellets. It's just like it's like a double tap, just like 2 little pellets come out. Same with the 5, just 5, and then with the 20, it's like a rain of pellets.
Can't you also select whether or not you want pellets or a single slug, though?
We won't talk about that.
It would that kind of be like you're running an Ultra AC2 with 2 ones?
Oh, don't worry, we're
Ultra
gonna get
AC1 maybe.
we're gonna get Ultra AC2s, and when I put 4 of those babies on a fucking oh wait, no, I can't put them on Jaeger Mechs. Sorry, when I put 6 of those in a Daiichi, get ready for the pain. Oh yeah, so the Kit Fox, it's gonna be trash. It's a light mech, so it's obviously just gonna be trash because it's a clan mech. Clan mechs, obviously, you can't change the engine rating, which sucks for lights because you need to go fast. obviously, this is a good night to talk about it, really, because we've got a lot of light pilots here. Can you guys see any redeeming factors in the Clan Light Mech so far?
Not unless they got wicked armor. I just don't see it, and especially like the picture of the Kit Fox just looks horrendous. Like that thing, the arms are slung lower than the legs, or than the hip portion, and
But it's tiny. Look at how tiny that thing is.
it might be tiny, but so is the Locust, and the Locust has higher points.
Mhm.
You know, you could hill hump with that thing. The Kit Fox is like just asking to die. It really is. Those spindly little legs and whatever and whatnot. I just don't see it. I mean, maybe the weapons are going to be all that in a bag of chips, but I'm not putting any money down on it.
Okay.
I'm not sure they jump either. At least the prime variants don't, which doesn't help a light.
I think
If
the adder. Oh no, never mind.
If it can get jump jets, if it can get ECM, it might play a role similar to a PPC Cicada. Outside of that, I don't think it'll be useful. Except for making a doggy meme like, such speed, much armor. Wow.
Hey now, you can change your armor now, but we'll get to that. Actually, okay, really quick, we should cover that now, because there's not really much to talk about it. They just said it was going to happen in this nice little vlog here, which I'll mute the sound on so you guys don't have to listen to it. I'll just play it while we talk about it really quick. Devlog 2 came out, as usual. It was some pretty outdated information because it takes a while in production, which kind of sucks. But what they did talk about was that Clan XLs won't kill you if you take off just one torso. You have to take off both torsos to kill a Clan XL, and clans will have redistributable armor, which are huge. Okay, now that we've talked about that, let's talk about Clan Mechs again, because that obviously needed to be talked about. So, you still can't change the engine size, but you can change armor. I still don't think that'll help light mechs.
Not at all. I don't think either one of the light mechs will. As slow as they are, they're just gonna get asked. They're asking to just get sniped off a hill or sniped out of a range or whatever. They're just not gonna have it, and they can carry all the weapons in the world. I mean,
Clan ERPPC.
Yeah, but you're still gonna have ERPPC heat. Are you gonna be able to run enough heat sinks? Are you going to be... There's so much more. Like, you have a 30-point alpha in a Jenner.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the 30-point alpha that you can take in another one, you know. The Cataphract has a 30-point alpha. But it's because the Cataphract does it a certain way. This thing can have, like, a 40-point alpha, but at the same time, the heat is going to be a problem. And not having your weapons all, you know, coincide together, because you heard the first. I mean, that loadout is just everywhere. It's just everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Get close enough.
lots of clan mechs are designed like that. They have weapons for every engagement range. So we're gonna do this by weight. So next one we'll talk about is the Adder, which is actually one of my favorite clan mechs. I love the Puma. It's the shit. Stock loadout is 35 tons, XL 210, 97.2 again. Pharaoh and Endo, 2 clan ERPPCs, a flamer, and a targeting computer. We do not know what the targeting computer does.
Well, just one thing, looking at its picture, those arms are so low slung and wide set.
Mm-hmm.
For a little fun, just switch between the adder and the direwolf and see if you can notice a difference.
Oh, I can. My penis gets much more erect when I look at the direwolf.
The adder does the adder does have that thing at the very top. Now, what is that?
Well, it's
That's a
probably
flavor.
going to be shoulders is what it's going to be. And even with the XL engine, I mean, it makes it incredibly easy to take both the shoulders out anyway, so you kind of lose the whole XL 2-shoulder bonus you get from the Clan XLs.
Well, so the one thing I would like to remind everybody is that Clan ERPPCs do 15 damage.
Well, they're
Unless
probably
it's
going to
adjusted.
tone that down, though. They've said they're toning down the ER large lasers.
Oh, damn.
I know.
God, I
Yeah,
wanted
I've
to...
said this before, but we need to know what the weapons look like sort of concrete,
Well, I
before
mean-
we can pass final judgment.
Oh,
So
yeah,
for now it is speculation.
I was gonna say, we don't actually need to know shit. They can do whatever they want to. It's their game, but...
So what's
Yeah.
the speculation as to what the targeting computer does in a game that hitting is skill and not a roll of a dice?
Maybe lock 2 people at once. I don't know.
Oh! I didn't even think about that. That'd be sweet. The consensus in my clan is that it was going to be like a highlighted image of the mech moving in front of it where you had to aim.
Like a lead reticle or something like that.
Yeah, which would be total trash for most people, but it's interesting.
Well, it would help for new players, I think.
Oh, no,
to
totally
pick up
would.
the game, but at the competitive level, it is pretty pointless. I
Well,
mean, if you
you
can't
can't-
lead a target, then you shouldn't be playing with a good team anyway.
Exactly.
Well, and here's the thing: with all the different weapon speeds now, how could that even be viable?
That's a
Yeah,
good
that's
point.
true. One thing I'd point out again is how fast does a PPC Cicada go?
Uh,
130-ish.
Yeah,
130.
Yeah, yeah.
The PS
So
Cicada.
it goes 130, and these things with speed tweak, the adder and the Kit Fox, they're topping out at 105.
It'll go almost as fast as a Shadowhawk.
Yeah, but the PPC Cicada is already an easy target to hit, and it
Yeah,
relies
no,
more on
it's-
not being noticed and having ECM and all that jazz.
so
And its weapon mounts are relatively speaking higher than the Kit Foxes or Pumas will be. So
Well, with the exception of that top one. Now that top one, if it's the ballistic, then maybe you can put something up there, but you're still not going to get the same damage as you do out of like a PPC Cicada. You know.
you're talking about the adder?
it's not
Yeah,
a ballistic,
yeah,
it's an
yeah.
energy
That's
slot.
a flamer in the CT.
Oh, that's an energy slot. Okay.
Really quick, how many slots do clan mechs have in their CT? With the engine, it's 3 open, isn't it?
Two
No,
open.
it's
Oh, it's still
open.
2.
So it's two.
Could I throw out a great idea for the targeting computer from Laser Kid 1983, which probably
Hell
makes him
yeah.
30 years old and thus no longer a kid. He seems to think that it might highlight a hitbox, which could be interesting if you had a crit spot on a mech. It would highlight actually on your screen and not just on the paper doll. Well, that's an idea.
That would actually be pretty sweet.
Actually,
Yeah.
I fucking love that idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just highlight like the most damaged hitbox. They already have the technology for that because they're doing it with the turrets. Dude, that'd be so cool.
A couple weeks ago, there was a discussion on Reddit about this, and that was one of the things brought up. I was thinking maybe it would buff projectile speed, but I think that's
Way to
just
go.
wishful thinking.
Way to go, laser. Medium
Laser
range
man.
person.
Laser man.
Laser man. I was going for something in between kid and man. Oh well. Okay, so from then let's talk.
Adolescent?
Nah, I don't know what I was going for. Laser midlife crisis. I don't. That's just me.
Moving on.
He came up with a good idea. I don't want to hurt it. No, okay. Laser Kid, you're the shit. We love you. So the Nova. This is actually one of the ones I'm most excited for because look at those hard points.
It's almost redundant to do anything except the prime.
It's a pretty
Like,
good prime variant.
Do you know if any of the alternate variants have torso mounted guns?
Let me go check. There was a post on Reddit that had like all of the mechs pulled from tabletop, what their stats were.
Baller.
Ooh. Yeah, that was a good post. G-Man, was that you again with another 5,000 worder?
I don't think so.
To be
no.
fair, the
Shots
best thing
fired.
the best thing that G-Man has contributed was the mech pickup lines. I found those and I was like shit faced and I was like, G-Man, you're the shit, well done. All hail today's table for giving us the Reddit. No. The 6 medium laser, so they're not necessarily 6 medium lasers. They don't actually have medium lasers for clans. They just have ER medium lasers. But 12 ER medium lasers. Holy fuck. That's so good. On a medium mech, like...
Dead ghost heat.
Yeah, but how are you going to deal with the heat?
Well, so
There's
the
no
thing
way.
is we don't know how Ghost Heat is going to be implemented on clans, and I have a feeling we'll talk about it when we get to the Masakari. Wow, the Masakari comes up on the far left of my screen, so I can't even see it. Sweet. A lot of the clan mechs break the current Ghost Heat brackets, so it's possible that clan mechs will have different Ghost Heat brackets, would be my assumption. Otherwise, a lot of clan mechs are just going to be DOA.
Right, you kind of have to, because most clan mech variants deal heavily in energy weapons, and mostly energy weapons.
Mm-hmm.
That might be how they try to balance them, though.
Yeah, it's true. Well, they've already stated a bunch of ways that they're planning on balancing them, though, and all of them seem to work like fairly well. Toning down weapons, increasing cooldown, stuff like that, making it so that they do hit a lot harder, but it's just less frequent. So, what do you guys think about the Nova? Do you think it'll be...
I think it's going to have the same problem as every other mech that has their weapons just in their arms. And that's a lot to lose.
Yeah. I know a lot of people... This is the one that originally had the arm legs, right?
The arm lasers?
No,
the
the arm,
lasers?
the arms came off of the legs.
Yeah, there was no torso on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Right.
so for anybody who doesn't know, the original design of the Nova was a CT with legs where its torsos were and arms off the legs, which would have been, broken the hitboxes. I'm still interested to see what they do with the Mad Cat, honestly, because I have no idea if they're going to actually add those shoulder missile brackets as hitboxes or not, because...
Those will get picked off so badly.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when we get to the Mad Cat. But, so I know some people were complaining about that with the Nova, but I'm excited for the Nova. It looks pretty fun. It's certainly my favorite medium mech over the Stormcrow, the Ryokan. So I'm gonna admit my ignorance here and just tell you guys that I just noticed this. The Stormcrow goes the same speed as the Clan Light mechs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At 55 tons. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yup.
Let's talk about the creepy little tiny hands on it.
Oh my god, they're so weird. You know what it reminds me of every single time? Is that scene from Scary Movie where he
Scary
reaches
Movie.
out the window and he's like, "Take my strong hand!" That's what they remind me of.
I think it's actually a good-looking mech. Other than that,
Yeah, other than the
not a
creepy
practical-looking
hands.
mech.
It looks something like the Nova with a big hunch.
He's kind of right.
A lot of the clan mechs look pretty similar to each other.
I mean, it's always been like that though. It's not like, I mean, the Adder has always looked like a little Daiichi. At least in my opinion. But yeah, Stormcrow's got, it is basically just subpar to the Nova, other than it goes faster. Has way less hard points. Only 5 energy as compared to 12. But again, I don't know anything about the alternate variants.
But it's got a head laser. That instantly makes it better.
You and fucking Panic Button, dude. Panic Button's like, dude, it's got a head laser. That shit's hardcore.
It's a head laser. That's the reason why.
Go ahead, Siri.
I'm still looking for this post. I don't know where the fuck it is, but it looks. If I recall correctly, some of the alt ones have missiles and ballistics, but not enough quantity to make it good, especially without jump jets.
Somebody in chat saying that one of them has an AC-20.
It better if it wants to outdo some of the mediums we already have.
Yeah.
But I mean, no jump jets, and it's got a low-mounted cockpit with a barn of a hitbox above that.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like
squat. It's gonna eat SRAMs and AC-20s. I don't think it'll brawl that well.
yeah.
It's fast. It has that going for it at least.
Yeah, I think one of the major deciding factors with the clan mechs is that they will be faster. So, but they're not doing. They're not doing only clan on Innersphere, so you don't need to balance stuff like that. So it just means some of these mechs just won't be used because they won't be as good as like their Innersphere counterparts, no matter how good clan weapons are.
Yes, they are.
What?
They said that they wanted to do that at the start.
They wanted to do
when they
clans
first
versus
released clans.
Uh,
Now I have to go back and find it, but I think it was something.
Might be in the vlog. I didn't actually.
No, it
listen.
wasn't in the blog.
Okay, so that makes more sense. So if they do try and do that, what that means is that clan mechs will have a disadvantage in that their light mechs will not be as fast as Innersphere light mechs, but all of their other mechs will be faster. I mean,
Yeah, the Daishi, the speed demon.
hey man, 50, that's blazing. But seriously though, the Masakari does like 64, which is pretty good for an assault mech.
70 post speed tweak. But I
Mhm.
mean, like, that's a Victor.
Yeah,
Same
but
specific
a,
Victor.
but a
It's a slow
Victor
Victor.
can't mount 4 clan ERPPCs though.
Yeah, and a Masakari can't jump.
Jump up once, 60 damage to any part of your mech. YOLO swag. Nah, I'm not one of those guys. I hate saying that. Damn it, Raffle. So that's interesting. I didn't know that they planned on doing clan versus IS, because I know they talked about not wanting to do stars versus lances, which is good, because you can't balance player skill. Okay. Office of Stormcrow. Let's talk about the Summoner, one of my other favorite mechs. Man, I just love all the clan mechs, let's be really fair. LBX-10, LRM-15, ERPPC, 1 ballistic, 1 missile, 1 energy. Pretty weak on the hard points, but I know some of the other variants are much heavier.
the fact that it can run an LBX-10 in one and an ERPPC and an LRM-15, that means it can run the tonnage. So you can see, some of your bigger, everybody who wants to take the big SRM, the big whatever, they can still run all that. And,
I think the important thing with it is 70-ton mech with jump jets, right? I think that's what makes it stand out against the rest of them.
That's true, the Summoner does have jump jets, which will be pretty big.
It's going to be a pain getting those low-set guns over a ridge even with jump jets, though. The missiles are going to be really the only thing that goes over the top very easily.
True.
Do you think it looked worse than a Victor?
It's
Don't
probably
worry.
similar, yeah.
Just wait for the hero variant, where it has the energy slot on the torso instead of the arm.
if it had the energy slot up on the top where the shoulder is, that'd be cool.
You just
Imagine
want
if it had a ballistic slot there.
you just want the Marauder too. Come on.
Yeah, I think it's basically just a smaller, faster Victor. Especially now that we know that the armor is adjustable, it's actually going to be relevant. And I think the Summoner might be one of the winners when it's released. Unless, jump jets are nerfed into the ground like they should be.
You kill my light max, I quit the game. I'm just saying.
No. If implemented properly, as per Siri Waffle's suggestion, properly, if implemented properly, if they do it right, it should be fine. Because it would be based on tonnage, which would make assault mechs shit and light mechs fine.
Okay, sorry to interrupt, but I found the quote in the transcript of Ask the Devs, vlog number 2. It is... it's gonna break lore, and some people aren't going to be too happy about it, but we are aiming to have 12v12 clan versus inner sphere.
Uh huh. They are
So
aware
if-
that no one will be playing Inner Sphere mechs the day clans come out, right?
They said that if it just doesn't work out, they'll change it to make stars versus lances, but out of the gate, it's going to be 12v12.
Cool.
Yeah, and I have one of my buds in BSK has just sent me a message saying that they did say at one point that they want to avoid strictly clan versus strictly IS battles due to what that would do to queue wait times in the pug queue.
On the other hand,
Yeah.
here they
Props
are
to
saying
Phil,
it's
though.
going to be clan versus inner sphere, so...
I don't know, that quote makes
Nobody
me think
knows
that
what
they're
they're
just they're just not gonna take into account whether or not you're a clan or an inner sphere guy. That's what that makes me think.
Yeah, we'll see.
That-
It'll be interesting. It depends. Clan versus Inner Sphere Siri could mean clan versus Inner Sphere, or could mean a mix of clans versus a mix of Inner Sphere, depending on how that comment is meant. It's poor language, but it could be interpreted either way. Shouldn't fucking drink so much during shows.
And before teams start fighting each other and TKing.
Oh, dude. Gold Mechs, man. So excited.
Yeah, gold mechs are definitely going to receive that, but
Oh, I'm excited. I have a buddy with a gold mech, and I'm really excited because I'm just gonna drop with him and then have to kill 22 people. But
There's been a couple people that have gotten them, but none of these mechs really impressed me enough to spend $500 on not only all of them, but that all of them plus a special gold mech.
yeah, the
Yeah,
the Warhawk pack is actually pretty reasonable in my opinion. It's $240, but it's completely optional. You don't have to pay that much money if you don't want to. You can just wait. So it's a scaled up Phoenix pack. That makes sense for me.
Or if you just want to get the Warhawk, you can just do that.
Yeah,
Pay
exactly.
$50 and done.
Yeah.
I think I agree with all that. That's cool.
They added some cutesy little rewards, which I will be purchasing at least the Kit Fox by the end of the month to get my 30 days free premium time. Okay, so sorry. On from the thumbnail. Jesus, dude, I'm like 12 tonight. I don't know what's going on.
well, you spelled everything correctly, but now you just can't talk.
You know what? Show without a spelling error is pretty good in my book, so I'm gonna take that one as a victory right off the me sounding like it's.
Putting the people in the right spots, not so much, but whatever.
Hey man, it's some of us make our Skype profiles with our screen names so that it's easy for the show host, who happens to be me. Some of us don't, and it's okay. The only reason I remember what your goddamn name is because it's a picture of Warhammer when I invite you to groups.
Oh yeah.
And I played Warhammer. Anyway.
Found it.
Oh, what?
Wait, no, that was the wrong thing.
Don't get our hopes up like that, Siri.
No, wait, this is the right thing. Never mind.
I'm excited. Then I'm not. Then I'm now.
Which are we never minding?
I don't know.
There, that is an album of all of the Omnimax, where their hardpoints are, per tabletop, to give you an idea of what sort of min-maxing you'd be able to come up with at minimum.
Don't forget that all clan mechs come with auto case in wherever you put ammo.
Ooh.
So put it all in the CT, right?
All in the head. All of it.
Anywho,
Hold on, let me find the Daishi. Sorry, onto the Timberwolf. Very, 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 very iconic mech. The Mad Cat. 2 energy, 1 ballistic, 1 ballistic in the CT, 2 energy. They're missing the right torso there, but the right torso also has a machine gun and an LRM-20. They very cleverly put 1 machine gun in the CT and 1 in the right torso to avoid the fact that it should have been left torso, right torso, which would have allowed dual AC-10s on a heavy mech that does 81 kph.
you mean 20s?
Oh yeah, I do mean 20s. You're right. I'm looking at the thing right now.
Wait, this thing says right torso, 1 energy, 1 missile. There's 2 columns of hard points.
Oh, it is correct, Laura. Then I'm the idiot. Good call.
But it says right torso machine gun. What the hell?
Right torso, yeah. Right torso, 1 ballistic. That still means that you can put a ballistic on the Mad Cat, which is going to be pretty big. Not to mention, the Timberwolf B has a ballistic arm. So you will get at least 2 usable ballistic slots. One of them will at least be a UX-20 if you want to put it in the arm. So Mad Cat's going to be dangerous, but we all knew that. I think
the only problem is those 2 big gigantic boxes off its shoulder, that you're going to be able to hit no matter what. It's going to be a problem.
Well, it's going to come down to how they do with them, whether or not they're torsos or whether or not they're their own hitbox.
What I hope on that fact, if they do end up to be the right and the left torso, is I know if you pull the LRM-15 off your Thunderbolt, the big keg on your shoulder disappears entirely, right? So I kind of hope it'll be like that.
Yeah, they have been going for modular 3D models for the most part with their newer mechs. So I imagine if you just remove it, like Falcon here says, it'll probably just disappear. Won't be an issue at that point.
That
I
would
hope-
be the hope, but with things like the Jaeger Mech A, I know that's one of the older module models, but it doesn't take away the missile boxes if you take away the missiles.
Right. Yeah, but like you said, I mean, it's one of the older ones, and they haven't redone the hitboxes for it yet, or even updated the weapons for the modularity.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I just see where the machine guns are, which are on the lower part of the side, and then you see these gigantic boxes off the top, and it's just
Mm-hmm.
if they leave those on there, we will be picking side torsos all day long. We won't even have to worry about the arms.
yeah, because at that point the sides are, or the arms are a bonus when you take the side torso off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. It's one of my favorite mechs from the past. But now we get to move on to my actual favorite mech from now and forever, the Direwolf. 100 tons of pure clan rape.
Did you skip the Warhawk?
Did I skip the Warhawk?
You hadn't talked about it yet.
No. We're going in sort of a weird order. We're going from right to left in terms of weight. So it was Kit Fox, Adder, Nova, Stormcrow, Summoner, Timberwolf, Direwolf, then Warhawk. It's weird, I know, but there was a system, I promise.
What?
Damn it, it's logical, kind of. Direwolf. What do you guys think?
Double UAC 20s.
Not even.
No,
not
dude.
even.
I wouldn't even bother. You want to know why?
Quad UAC 5s.
Hexa UAC 5s.
Hexa UAC 5s, you can't get enough ammo.
Oh, really?
Nope.
You can get a couple
You
tons.
only get like 5 tons free after that, and that's not accounted for heat sinks, not like you need them. But the one that really caught my eye was that you could do quad UAC 5 with high mounted, or with high torso mounts, assuming that they follow like some of the art that's been released in the past. Hopefully they don't, to be honest. But quad torso mounted UAC 5s with 6 arm mounted ER large lasers with a good number of heat sinks and ammo behind that.
Holy shit. Dude!
I would say the one negative you see on there is the engine. When you take the 100-ton mech, pretty much every comp Atlas you'd saw there ran a 350 instead of a 300, right? So going only 53 or whatever it is makes it pretty tough to get it into brawl position. But
It's true.
yeah,
That also means that
But-
it doesn't torso twist all that quick either.
But to be
well,
honest, quad UAC 5, 6 ER medium lasers, you don't need the brawl, you're doing full damage at 400.
yeah. Not to mention, I'm looking at... Yeah, you can fit 4 Clan Gauls rifles on this.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for Beef to make a video.
What about that times 200 ghost heat that you have with all those clan rifles?
The Clan Gauss
Yeah,
rifles?
yeah.
Oh no. what will my heat be like with that many Gauss rifles, guys?
Out of all of these, the Daishi is the abomination that, if they don't tread very carefully with the balance,
Or kill
or
the Atlas.
and if jump jets are nerfed, then it's gonna murder things.
It's supposed to, though. It's supposed to be a walking ball of, like, if you see a Daishi, you're supposed to run away. You're not supposed to try and fight one of those. And
Yeah, well, that's what the Atlas was supposed to be, and we all know how that goes.
It
I'll
lasts
take
for
on
a
an
few
Atlas
months.
in my cheddar.
Alright, Nanner, let's do it. You'll take on a bad Atlas pilot. Nobody pilots Atlases that well anymore, because nobody has to play them in comp drops.
In Before Streak Atlas.
Oh, dude, yeah. Fucking
Streaks.
standard 340, 1 ton of streak ammo, 3 streak launchers, ECM, AMS, 2 large lasers, and an AC-20. Full armor.
Anyhow,
Anyway, sorry. Yeah,
One PPC spider. One ER PPC spider. I win.
touche.
oh, and here's people talking about the Daishi and saying Endo and Pharaoh are not dynamic. It doesn't have Endo and Pharaoh.
But
It's
It's all
It's
standard.
got the XL engine, and then it just has 52 tons free from there.
Yep.
52 tons of free killing.
Clan tech. Oh my god. Not to mention you can like front max the armor now, so you can literally just sit in the back and pummel people to death. You could run 6 6 clan AC2s on that, and like a couple clan PPCs if you wanted to.
6 Ultra AC2s, oh man.
Oh god, it's almost the Kraken. I'm wondering if they're gonna change the UAC mechanic for clans, because all they have. Oh, fuck! Yeah, you're drinking Kraken. Holy shit!
Of course,
One second.
Kraken. Come on, man.
But we've been
the
saying
Kraken.
this since clans were released or were announced, but if they're gonna release clans, they need to change the ultras.
I drank all my Kraken and threw away the bottle. Sorry, man. But I love Kraken. That shit's the bomb. Anyway. No, they do totally need to change the UAC mechanic, because right now the way it works, you could be left in a situation with your primary weapon being 6 clan AC2s where you are completely useless and you can't actually shoot for up to 5 seconds.
I'm not even talking useless. I'm going the other way. I'm saying it's too
Yeah.
good to have like quad UAC 5s, to have even a single UAC 20 is just super efficient in terms of fitting.
The way it always should have been is it should always have been percentage based on number of weapons. So if you have 1 UAC, it jams less frequently. If you have 2 UACs, it jams more frequently. 3 more. So if you have 6 clan UAC 5 or UAC 2s, it should jam pretty frequently. But you have 6 of them, so it shouldn't really matter. You should always have a couple shooting.
Well, the suggestion I'm still hoping for is actually kind of backed up by what they've been discussing and releasing. If you look at their discussion on clan lasers, they were saying that they would give it a longer beam duration to make up for the increased range and damage. And that makes sense. That's good. That gives you an opportunity to twist. And it also falls flavor-wise in line with my suggestion of making ultras multi-shot, like they were in Mech 4.
Like a triple tap? Or
Not
double tap?
a tap, but like you tap and 3 shots come out, or something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
like the rotaries.
No, the rotaries were just constant DACA, but the ultras, like the Ultra AC20, fired 2 shots of 10, like a tenth of a second apart.
That would give you like a slight chance to roll the damage.
Yep, and it would be mitigation on a fast-moving target. So,
I like that. It's a good concept.
I know you like it. You told me that like the other 4 times I brought it up.
I know. Damn it, Siri. I try to be subtle. I try to be like, oh man, the Siri guy's really smart. And you're just like, oh yeah, duh, Raffle. Of course I'm smart. Fuck yourself.
How many drinks in are you now?
You know, I have to say, it's this stupid wine. I've had like 4 of these cups full of wine, but I always forget that wine is strong. So I'm a little drunk, but that's fine. I've never done one of these like completely sober. That'd just be silly. I was so nervous the first time. I drank so much beer. I was like, oh god, I'm talking in front of a bunch of people. Oh no, how's this gonna go? It's fine now.
In any case, what would you guys do to the ultras to make them balanced?
I saw a suggestion in chat to make Ghost Heat set off anytime you double tap, which is kind of an interesting suggestion. I'm not sure if I would enjoy playing that, but it would maybe balance it.
Keep the jam rate well, no, you could just macro it. Never mind. I was gonna say keep the jam rate the same and bring back the closed beta mechanic for unjamming your UX.
Oh god.
Good lord.
No.
Dude, I loved that shit.
You loved that?
It was fun. Well,
Wait,
personally,
wait. For the people that started after closed beta, what was it?
the old UX jam mechanic. Well, first of all, originally UX didn't jam, so if you weren't running UX, you were just bad because UX could just shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot, and it was hilarious. But then they implemented the jamming mechanic, and when your UX jammed, every slot 1 through 6 lit up and started flashing in your fire group, and you had to individually go through each and every one to clear them. So you had to clear 1, clear 2, clear 3, clear 4, clear 5,
Yeah.
clear 6.
You had to hit
And then-
each of them like 2 or 3 times.
and then you had to
too. Like, you had to hit
reassign.
111, 222, 333, 444.
Yeah, exactly.
That sounds like awesomeness. Wait,
Dude, it was pretty
It's
cool,
like a
but
game in the game.
people just macroed it, and then it wasn't fun.
I,
if you-
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I had
Why
a.
would they do that?
If you could prevent macroing it by just making it random. It does like 3 of them, so it does either 1, 2, 3, or like 1, 5, 6. That'd be so much fun. Oh, dude, I fucking love that. So then,
basically, it
your
jams
UX
and then you play a game of whack-a-mole. Is what
yeah,
you're saying.
your UX only jam like 15% of the time, but when they do jam, you're just sitting there mashing on your keyboard for like 30 seconds, like, oh god, I gotta get my guns to work again.
That doesn't sound like fun at all. But however, the current jam mechanic, like, I find it jams a lot. The AC5s. I wonder though, is it going to jam enough in like the AC2s, or the AC2s, the AC20s? And if that's the case, if they're going to continue with the jam mechanic, then the AC2s are going to jam all the time. They just jam all day long.
What if what you did is you scale it, the larger the weapon, the longer the jam time. So something like an AC-20, if you jam it, you're offline for 10 seconds, 15 seconds, as opposed to the 4 or 5, whatever it is for the AC-5.
I would like that if jamming was less random. But the problem right now is that you can jam on the first shot. Like, you can just shoot once, and then your UX is jammed. Which is total bullshit. Like, you shouldn't be able to jam if you're just, like, clicking every time the cooldown goes off, you know?
You gotta have lighter fingers.
It should be better, more like a cooldown mechanic. Not so much as shown, but more like you take 3 shots and then you have to stop for a second because you have to, it jams the more you shoot. So, like, as you shoot within a certain amount of seconds, then it jams. If the jam percentage goes up and up and up and up and up until you jam, and then you have to go for a full whatever.
So kind
Does that
of like
make sense?
a cumulative jam time. So every time you
Yeah.
hit and then you finally hit it on like the 3rd one, it triples the jam time. So
That
you can
would-
hit it 3 times as
So
long.
you can hold it down, but then the longer you hold it down, the more it can jam. And then if you let off, you're like blang, 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 and you let off. And
That
now
doesn't-
you're on it again.
Do you really want a UX-20 that can possibly shoot you 3 times in 3 seconds, though?
Oh, but the jam mechanic would be up higher for the
Yeah.
that's on top of like I'm just thinking AC2s and how worthless they would be if you're like blah 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 blah. Oh, now I've got to wait a little while.
It's gonna be like
Okay,
a
now it's ready.
fucking machine gun, dude. It's just gonna be like
It will
all over the
just like that. You need to clean your mic off because you just spit all over it.
I did. I just touched it. It's fine. My mic is to the side of my face, not in front of it.
Oh, okay. Well then you need to clean
Check
your
your
screen off.
monitor.
An interesting mechanic would be instead of making it a random jam chance, going to a static jam chance where you shoot it 3 or 4 times and then it jams on the 5th time.
I
Yeah,
always
it's
thought they should just make the chance of jamming increase the longer you hold it down.
well. So
No.
what I've always thought is that I've mentioned this before, and I'll mention it again, is that when you simply just hold down the shot, it should just shoot at the normal cooldown. So, take a shot, waits for the full time, and then shoots again. But if you take your finger off the click and like tap it again, then it double taps, and then you get your chance to jam. But if you're just like shooting and holding down the button at like your regular rate, you shouldn't be punished. You know what I mean?
I like that.
I wish you could use UX as ACs without the jam mechanic, like in some way. Like I wish there was like an alternate fire for AC weapon groups that allowed you just to treat them as UX.
Really some kind of toggle, like the chainfire toggle or something like
Yes, exactly.
Then they could use that hotkey for LEXs.
Yeah, I don't know. So that's something that I would like, but that doesn't fix the problem of how to fix the multiple caliber and rate of fire jams. With
You
all
could
the new
also
UX.
You could also do it a different way. And instead of doing that, take the jam mechanic out completely and just have a reload time. So like you have so many that you can shoot before you have to reload, and then that reload time is used, and now you get to reload. You'll always know what you've got. That means they're going to have a button in there to reload your stuff manually, but you know, it's an option. Like auto shooter or auto. Anyway, never
Like
mind.
FPS. Who's
Nobody
drunk?
else would get the reference.
Who's
because
drunk
nobody
now,
else plays,
Nanner?
No, I'm not. Nobody else plays World of Tanks.
It's true.
Oh, really?
Well, besides you, Siri, but
I did a long time ago.
Okay, I can explain the con. Or did you already explain it in depth?
No.
enough?
Go for it.
Alright, basically you get, well, it's exactly like having a magazine or for a gun. You have a certain amount of shots, and then there's a very long reload. So, for example, you could put, say you get 3 Ultra AC-20 shots to a magazine, and you fire once, wait 3 seconds, like a fast reload, so 2.5, 3 seconds, fire, 2.5, 3 seconds, fire. Magazine's depleted, well, now you have to wait 20 seconds for it to come back.
Still 120 damage on a double Ultra 20 boat.
And
Oh,
then
yeah.
you're useless for a while. So,
Yeah,
but
120 damage.
It's a better mechanic than just jamming, I think. And
And you'd
I never
also-
mentioned it. I do like that.
You'd also hope that, well, not hope, but I would imagine there would be some sort of ghost heat that would still prevent you from shooting 3 in a row that were all doubles, right? You'd have to maybe stagger them to get the full 3 off without overheating.
Right. Well, I'm saying like it's not a huge like half-second double tap. I'm saying it's still, compared to a normal AC-20, and a normal AC-20 is 4 seconds. Make the Ultra with the magazine like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
I don't hate the idea.
It could work with 5s, and it could work with the 2s. You know, 2s could just be like boom, 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 and then you have a reload time. Now you can pop up and do your damage, move away, turn, whatever you need to do, but the reload time prevents you from just pouring fire in. Yeah, you can move back and forth like if you had something with multiple ACs in it, and you can move back and forth between them all, and then at that point, then your heat just gets bigger and bigger, and that's something you'd have to deal with within the mech.
Small side note, as an FPS player, that would drive me nuts as a compulsive reloader. Like, you shoot 2, and you're behind a corner waiting, and you're like, oh shit. And then you hit the reload button, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna wait 30 seconds to reload this gun again.
Oh yeah.
I've started playing
It's-
Counter-Strike just to work on like being twitchy, and I do that shit all the time. And I swear, every time I reload, I'm like, "Oh, time to reload." Somebody walks around the corner and shoots me in the head. I'm like,
Yep, then you're
There's a definite art to timing your reloads, but I think it
Yeah.
would actually play very well into the, well, how MW plays out, and I can't believe that I didn't think of it until now, so Nanner, thank you for that suggestion.
yeah.
Hey, I'm useful.
No, man, I seriously like that idea. I think it's a really good way to counter the fact that there will be so many different calibers and speeds of UX now. Awesome off-topic discussion, but Warhawk?
Oh, right.
Last one. We got one left.
Clan
Max.
what?
Yeah, I know, right?
That's right.
Warhawk has 2 ERPPCs, LRM-10 in the left arm, targeting computer in the right torso, 2 ERPPCs in the right arm. Obviously, that breaks the fuck all out of Ghost Heat.
Where the heck are they putting that LRM-10? Is that underslung?
Yeah, it's supposed to be on
it's
the
on that left arm on the
torso.
bottom. You see it there, hanging down?
Boo.
Yeah, it's supposed to be on
Underslung
the.
underneath the arm.
It's supposed to be on the torso. Kind of upset about that, but oh
I
well.
wonder. I wonder if the missiles will bounce off its geometry.
Dude.
Probably why they
They
put
go
it on the
up and
arm.
hit the gun.
Hit the barrel.
You only hit 5.
But
It's like an LRM-5.
if the Clan LRMs do have 0 range, though, then you're blowing off your own gun.
What they get for running LRMs.
You do.
I agree.
Oh
No,
god.
they're probably going to switch it to a side pod.
Or
instead
I
of
hope they
press
just
on
put it on
once
the
they
top.
realize
It's
that it doesn't work.
it's supposed to be on the torso. That's just like where it's supposed to be.
Why wouldn't you put it there? Like,
don't know,
it's
man.
got more than enough room over there.
Yeah.
Heck, forget all that. Just put it right on top and, has it coming out the top. That way you don't even have to have, like, SRMs or anything. You can just That's all you can put in there is LRMs. Comes straight off the top.
Yeah. But if Clan ERPPCs do 50 damage, that's a 60-point alpha.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Provided you can fire it, right? I don't know what the heat is on the clan ERPPC, and I don't know what Ghost Heat will look like for clan, but
So my thing is that they've always gone with Ghost Heat as it's based on like the weapon brackets that certain mechs could bring. So, and to be fair, on the Sarna page for the Warhawk, it does talk about how you can't fucking Alpha Strike with it, but either way, if you're firing 2 ERPPCs followed by another 2 ERPPCs 0.5 seconds later, that's still a lot of damage.
I mean, that's not really how, like, that might have been their excuse for it, but the Hunchback and the Awesome stock variants break Ghost Heat already.
Yeah, I was just about to make that point too.
The Hunchback pod, they go by like pod weapon firing groups. So the Awesome is still fucked, but the Hunchback does sort of fit the way they've explained it.
if I could play devil's advocate for a second, if you would still be okay shooting 2 ERPPCs, pausing, shooting 2 more, then shouldn't the 4 PPC Stalker still exist?
It does, but the thing that killed the 4 PPC Stalker was the heat increase.
The DPS is just not there.
Right.
You
so
can still do it, wait for your heat to go down to where you can shoot 2 more, but your DPS is just hurting.
because
Also, the terrain changes.
If you're not running a 6 PPC Stalker, I don't know what you're doing with your life.
You're doing it wrong.
oh gee
You're
man,
mech warring wrong.
I love you.
No, I'm
this
gonna be-
shit.
I actually, after the AC-20 nerf, changed my misery back to quad PPC, and ran it for quite a while. It's still quite effective.
Yeah.
It's just not at that next killer level.
Also, the damage to heat ratio isn't as good as it would be on the Masakari. Not that we know what the heat on clan weapons is going to be or the damage, but based off of what we can speculate, this would be more effective than that. So that's why you'll also have way more tonnage because it's a clan XL, so you'll have more heat sinks to throw in.
You're saying I shouldn't be running an XL in my Stalker?
Only if you're
Stalkers.
brand new to the game and you're trying to see what it's like to pilot an assault mech. That's the only time you should run an XL and a Stalker.
My champion stalker out there. Oh yeah.
And again, we're running off the assumption that ERPPCs are going to do 15 damage. And I know Garth left, but before he did, he made a comment that ERPPCs would have 15 damage over... Well, actually, that would probably not have 15 damage.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I think the quote was, there will be 15 damage ERPPCs over my dead body, I believe.
I wasn't
And now
gonna say
he's gone,
that
so what
does
exactly
that mean?
because now he's gone.
Hey, you
Does
still
this-
got
does
another
this-
Twitter account. He's still alive.
Oh, so he is alive. Okay,
Yeah.
I was gonna say, does this technically make him dead?
He's
I'm
not-
Not sure.
He's not the Soji ring controller, so he's still alive. Too soon? That's all the clan mechs. That's all the clan tech. Talked about the
Right
XL
now?
engine. Talked about just, reinforcement pack within the next couple months. Don't worry. Is there anything else we need to talk about, guys?
All I can say is they better fix this stuff.
What stuff?
Everything. We've had so many problems with DCs and crazy stuff happening since UI 2.0. I don't want to complain about it. But
Way more DCs, way more.
oh my gosh.
I've only
They
Normally we just have one DC and a light lead, but that's just us.
Siri?
Wow. Wow.
wait.
But- No,
Ja, ja,
seriously,
ja.
like we had one just today where we had to get somebody else, and BSK was kind enough to let us bring in somebody else from that's not on the roster because one of our light pilots, like he went to exit a game, he can't. It just keeps on saying that it's loading. He manually exits the game, and now it's some sort of a fatal error message pops up on him, and he can't enter the game. Something had happened, and this is new apparently that has happened since UI 2.0 came out. And some of this stuff, I understand it's not all going to be perfect, and I'm not going to sit here and complain about every little thing. But if they would put some stuff up on the test servers, we would test it out and leave it up there. We would test it out and we would go through it, and they would get positive feedback. Positive as in actual feedback on whether it works or not.
One thing that's really irked me, and you bring up the public test servers, it's like a one-shot deal every once in a long while. If they had that stuff up there and did community testing and quality assurance and all that stuff, they'd have a better idea of how this stuff runs compared to just, their internal 10 guys or whoever who test this stuff.
Yeah.
To be fair, it probably has something to do with server costs and stuff like that.
Probably.
Yeah. That's what Ekman said on the NG podcast, was basically even putting it up on the public test server, there's a pretty significant cost attached to it by building the build that's stable, getting it up there, and then monitoring it, and then bringing it down. I don't really know what that would mean. I don't run a video game company, but that was his reason as to why they do it rarely.
Well, look, as a software engineer myself, that's bullshit, because all that stuff is automatable. You can do that with a click of a button. That entire thing can be automated. It can go up and down at the click of a button. Or should be able to anyway, if they're doing it properly.
So there it is. PGI, you've got no excuses.
That was the reason I heard for not having servers of different sizes. So not having like an 8v8 server and a 12v12. That they needed to be economically efficient by running as many people on every server they had as possible.
That makes sense, but to not be able to have the public test server available more often than they do is kind of silly, in my opinion.
Yeah, they put it up for a couple hours. Half the people don't even get to test it, and then they take it down. You can't do a proper test in like 2 hours. This isn't beta anymore, and if you want to know if your stuff works, if it's going to be overpowered, if whatever, then we can do a positive test. We can do this. You've got more than enough test people out there who are willing even just to try out mechs that they think they might like. I don't own an Atlas. I'll probably never buy an Atlas, but if you gave me the money for an Atlas on a test server, I'd probably run it just because.
Yeah.
And that means you can test a lot of this stuff out. Hitboxes, everything. And just leave it up for a week. Leave it up for a week and then take it down after a week. You can get all kinds of information off of that.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I think we've reached a pretty good point. Anybody else have any last thoughts?
We're getting lobbies in a month and a half. Yay!
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm so excited. It's going to make... The entire game is going to change when that happens. At least the competitive scene. The entire competitive scene will change, because builds are no longer going to be per engagement tonnage, but they're going to be per engagement tonnage per map. So, I'm super excited. All right, well, we can talk about that super in depth when we get closer to it. But for right now, let's go around and let's do some shoutouts. Let's start this time with G-Man, who's been sitting here with the less than super obvious tag on the overlay.
He's got a big white box.
I've got the biggest name here.
That's true, you do.
I guess my shout out should go to MW Arena, which we're starting up at Credit again. It's Sunday night, 10 Eastern. Come by. It's open to everyone. Bunch of 1v1s all night. We'd be happy to have everyone.
Alright, that sounds like a blast, G-Man. I'll have to try and get down on one of those sometimes. Nanner, take it away.
As always, shout out to Sig. We're doing pretty good. We got a ways to go, and always fun to play you guys, be it 228, be it BSK. Had a great series of games today. Unfortunately, you guys came up on the top end of that one, so we'll probably attack you again or whatever.
What did you guys play in, by the way? What mode?
Skirmish, and it was not BSK's choice.
God,
that.
I can't. I'm not surprised. Fucking.
Wasn't us. We didn't choose it this time.
We,
I-
We did bring PBC cicadas in probably every drop.
Those were fun matches, Nanner.
They wouldn't
I
every
will.
drop.
I will admit they were fun matches, but Skirmish is the dumbest game mode ever made, ever at all.
No, but we played it out. It was either one side or the other was dead. So it was good. It was
I
real
believe
Yeah,
good.
that's one thing I'll say is in all our skirmish matches, either in the practice or in competition, I've yet to see a draw. It's usually pretty.
You know why it was that way with 228?
You looked at our
Because,
build and said, "Nope."
No, yep. We saw a bunch of Jaegers with Gauss rifles, and we're like, "Yeah, we're coming up over the hill to get that." No, we're not. We're gonna stay right here. You
I
come
had-
to us.
I had a 10-minute conversation with Panic Button about the strength and weaknesses of I-beams in construction. That's what we did with
I
those.
know.
That
We
drop.
heard it.
I had an out-of-body experience. I was like, "This is gonna be a draw."
It
I'm-
wasn't out of body.
I'm
It
playing.
was totally.
I'm playing a game, and I know that it's going to be a draw before it happens. Whoa. Anyway, yeah, good games tonight. Those were fun to watch. I had all my monitors crammed full of streams watching BSK versus SIG and Lords versus SWK. Some fun matches. But let's not bogart everybody. Did Chad give us some
Hold on.
shoutouts?
I just have to say that
shout
I
out.
believe in you, groupie number 4.
Groupie
Groupie
number
number
4.
4. Who's groupie number 4?
Probably Nanner. Because they're
It's not
serious
me.
groupies. No,
Is
it
that
is
me?
you. Yeah, because it's
Oh,
serious
okay.
groupies.
Well, we believe in you. Oh, great,
Anyway.
powerful Siri.
on to Chad's shoutout.
I don't remember. Oh wait, I remember what I was gonna say. Shout out to the sniper in the Dallas Cowboys because I know that's gonna make him mad. And balls of steel. Check us out. We're doing pretty good.
Damn right. And on to Eagle Falcon Hawk from BSK.
Shout out to sleeveless neon purple hoodies and Kraken rum.
Damn right. I like those shoutouts. My man. Alright, and Donator.
Yeah, I'd like to give some shout-outs. First of all, to the 228th for letting us scrim with them. That was great. And also to our new regiment commander, Falso, for stepping in and taking over our unit after we lost several of our leadership.
There's been a lot of unit reorganization going on lately, so it's good
Ladies.
to see. Ladies.
Ladies.
Lot of unit organization, ladies. Lots of reorganization going on between units, so it's good to see new units pop up and old units stick around. I'm happy to see how many people there are still playing in the competitive scene. And my late but glorious, as always, co-host, Siri Waffle.
You make it sound like I'm dead.
That's true. Sorry, my late in attendance, but still quite alive co-host, Siri Waffle.
He was a good man.
He did pretty decent shoutcasts with Raffle Waffle.
He
was
was very Asian.
My first shout out goes to Raffles Boxed Wine, super classy and giving us good entertainment. My second shout out goes to Trevelius, purveyor of fun builds. I shall forever love your quad ear large laser hunchback. Also, I've seen multiple credit people copying his dual Gaussier PPC cataphract, so shame on you.
What? I've
Dude.
been running that thing since the cataphract came out.
Everybody's been running that bitch lately. It's been crazy. As always, my shout out goes to everybody who's watching, all my guests. This Sunday, Siri and I are going to sit down for a marathon session of casting recorded matches. So hopefully Sunday night you're going to be getting a ton of content from me. Bunch of matches from the week. We're going to have some guest casters in there to cast the matches that I played in, as well as the matches that Siri played in. So you don't hear me sitting there just being like, "Oh god, this game is bullshit. I can't believe I fucked up the whole time." Stuff like that. So that's
no,
gonna take place.
instead you'll hear each of us telling the other how badly they fucked up.
Siri's just gonna be like, "Ravel, what the fuck are you doing in that game?" It's like, "Oh, my draw commander told me to. God damn
This
it."
is where you fucked up.
Yeah, so hopefully that's going to be something we're going to start doing every week. So come Sunday night, there'll be a bunch of casted matches that we didn't get the chance to do during the week up on my YouTube. I'll post them all to the Reddit, All Hail Serious Table. SJR plays BSK on Monday, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I will be casting that with a co-caster to be announced. Sadly, it can't be Siri because he has to play.
Oh.
That would
I
be
know.
interesting.
Make Siri cast while he plays. Just set it to like just have both streamers set it to like a 2-hour delay.
You know.
No.
We're
So, yeah.
looking forward to it though.
Yeah, should be fun. I'm excited to watch that game if nothing else. Yeah, so thank you everybody who came on. Thank you everybody for watching. I'm going to try and start doing the news again now that the leagues are getting back up and rolling. Everybody should check out the league standings, as well as I know Queenblade of the 228th, as well as numerous other people are keeping meticulous stats of Merrick for every pilot. It's absolutely crazy. We're going to talk about it next time on the show, actually, because it's a down week in between patches. So we're going to talk about team standings and stuff like that. But thank you, as always, to everybody. It's been a blast, as always, and can't wait to do it again. See you guys next week.
This is a bad time to say I have one more thing.
Oh, no, go ahead. Say it quick.
Oh my god.
Penis?
No.
Hey, don't get penisy, kid.
Aura from SWK and I are working on doing a light seminar thing. His is going to focus on just pure mechanics and being a better light pilot. Mine is going to be focused on decision making as a light lance leader. We're hoping to get this kicked off in about 2 weeks. It would be Sunday afternoons, half by invitation, half by who wants to come. For mine, it would be it's a classroom setting, not a stream or anything. But we're not going to be doing this publicly. But if you want in or are interested, get in touch with me or Aura, and we will keep you posted.
How many C-bills is tuition?
Fuck that shit. MC, man. $6 package. Swag.
500 MC per session.
I think I can pull that off. Somewhere in there.
But
Camo.
we're looking at doing that Sunday afternoon, so Raffle, we may have to figure out if we can do Saturday for the streams, or I just end up pulling like 12-hour shifts on Sunday to get all
That's
the
fine.
MIBO shit done.
Yeah, no, we'll figure it out. There are other times of the week that work as well. We can just do like a couple a night or something like that. But yeah, moral of that story, lots of cool shit coming up. Lots of cool games, lots of cool teams. Yeah, anybody have any last words? That aren't penis.
Scrotum.
Vagina.
That's it, guys. We're done. I'll catch you guys next week. Have a good one. Thanks for coming out.
Badge.
Online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.